Rick the mycologist, the Asbury Circle.
What's up, Rick Dahrouge, Asbury Circle. Again, took a little break in the studio recording some music. It's going to be out August. Went and saw Dave Chappelle. Had to do some camping and get out and spend some time in nature. I might take little breaks, but I'll always be back to the vlog. I'm committed to the circle. I think I'm going to call this little episode Growth Spurts, because we all know about, the whole no pain, no gain principle, right? We all know about no pain, no gain. It applies in life, it applies to our bodies, especially in athletic training and stuff like that. Even surviving an ordeal can be a growth spurt if it doesn't hurt you, as I've spoken and mentioned before. If you get too many of them and they beat you down, that's a whole nother story. And that's a whole nother phenomenon too, like who is resilient and who's not. I just wanted to emphasize more on growth through play. And I'm not a scientist, but I do know that is a whole area of science where psychologists watch that period and emphasize the early playfulness in children and almost all species play when they're young. And as far as I know, we're pretty malleable all the way up till 25. So whatever you want to learn and learn good, learn it before 25, or then you're going to have to put a little extra effort in. But supposedly we keep on growing all through life. And I just want to reminisce back on a time where everything just fell into place. It was right place, right time. There was no second guessing, no questioning. Anytime something did stand in the way of this, we easily overcame the obstacles through working together, just through, it was an effortless thing. If something would stand in the way, we'd work it out. And there was a certain amount of what we would call optimism there. So it was hard to stump us. So I want to go back to like the earliest conception of the band. And as far as where I was at, like I said before, I was like, let me get away from the acoustic, which I'm spending most of my time on now. Let me get away from the acoustic and writing, and I'm going to just play the guitar, stand in the back, not the tambourine, but play the guitar. Riff-oriented stuff. So even in the earliest conceptions, I really did think of stuff like Rage Against the Machine, Beastie Boys, Red Hot Chili Peppers, riff-oriented. Sublime I love too. Riff-oriented, and also groove-oriented. So the groove was important and the riff was important. And but I never thought that I'd end up like emceeing the way I still do today. So it started off, let's just say it was a 1, 2, 3, 4 of us. We're trying out guys, and those guys were rapping, like scream rapping. And then didn't seem to work out. So, but we kept getting together and kept jamming. And before you know it, we turned into a 3-piece. We were called Vibe Tribe. And it's just crazy to see how fast people, can learn in that situation. And plus, like our bass player, Eddie, he came in, he was with the congas. He comes from a musical family. I don't think he was well practiced in anything, but he had a great ear. He can hit harmonies. And he picked up that bass, and in no time, he just turned into a bass player. And I remember being at his house and smoking weed, and he was like, "Rick, check this out." And he's just smiling and playing, and I thought he was like ghost playing. I was like, "Is he playing that fucking thing?" And I walked over to him and paused the button, and he was like, "Yeah, check it out." He had the tone down, everything, so he had that Sublime down shit perfectly. And then the light goes on. So there it was, 3-piece, Vibe Tribe, and since it was 3 of us, now I'm back on the guitar, and it was easy for me to sing reggae style with the so it was the 3 of us. We called ourselves Vibe Tribe. Jay, naturally, like he's a schooled drummer, but he had a natural, good groove feel to him. Great rock drummer too, but definitely anything in hip hop, jazz, all the groovy stuff, funk. So rapidly it went from a 3-piece, and then we go chase down the baddest guitar player we can find, and now it's a 4-piece, and now we're doing more rock and R&B. We just went through this fast evolutionary phase. As we collect band members, the style changes to now I'm hands free, and I'm saying this shit is so funky. And Jay, the drummer, got so good at playing hip hop beats, like he really sounded like the SP 1200, like he sounded, or MP 2000, MPC 2000. And he just had that sample feel to him, and he was a live drummer. And we went on tour with the Roots, and I would go check out Questlove playing, and I would think, like, he's definitely a really schooled guy. But I felt that Jay, the breathing beat machine, our identities got caught up in it, but it was all fun. I thought that he sounded like the machines, the samples, even closer than Questlove. And I might have been biased, and I might have been used to his feel, but I still stand by that. I think he had that natural drum machine feel, the way that stuff loops and it has its own swing to it. Both of those machines, the Akai and the, I don't know if that's Emu who makes the SP20, that's Roland. And that's how we developed our sound. We knew there was other bands out there who were more on the metal end. We knew there were reggae and funk bands. Like I said, there's Chili Peppers. That was our era that we came out of, and we just wanted to make it more hip hop on the beat, the groove, but still have the guitars. And now I'm figuring, like, hey, if I'm gonna do this rap shit, I better learn how to do it well. So I started focusing on that, and I was surprised that I accidentally got good at that, and then developed a passion for it. It's weird how through play can lead you down a road that you never thought you'd go down. Like, it was never, yes, it was in the initial conception just because I wanted to play riffs, but how far the bass player came and how perfect he was for the style, how perfect the drummer was for the style. Then we had a turntable come in. Doc came in and he wanted to make sure, like, look, I'm a turntablist, I'm not a fucking DJ. He knew all the different, he knew the lingos, he knew the history, he was very schooled, and then in no time, he becomes perfect for the band. And we also knew that there were guys out there, there were bands that had DJs and they were just props. I didn't know why that was the thing, but we loved the sound of tables, so we made sure that we put him up front. And that was another thing. We had Doc New up front with the tables, and he was backing me up so I didn't, like, die from lack of oxygen, because you always got to breathe. So we had that shit nailed, in a short period of time. Let's just say it really started moving 22, we were solidified. I would say by 24, we were, boom, that's a 2-year period for a band to sound like total garage band, goofing off, dicking around, to really being professional. And that's because we were drilling it. And we loved drilling it because we loved the groove. And that's a prime example of learning and rapid learning and just out of play. We were serious. We wanted to do something with it. We wanted to make money and all that shit. We wanted to become, but we were becoming, and it was a beautiful thing. And that's just a prime example. And it's an honor for me to even just witness something like that. I've seen champions become champions in a couple years before my eyes. I've seen many people grow right before my eyes. But it was a wonder to be a part of that. So I know it as a truth that it can happen to you. It could happen to me if we embrace play a little more. I think that's about it, because there's other rough stuff to come. But let's embrace play. Peace out. Stay tuned. Asbury Circle. So I